We're live from New Delhi, watching DD India News, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, coming up in the next hour. US strikes against 3 alleged drug boats in international waters, killed 3 people. Death toll in Washington's campaign reaches 110. Russia downs Ukrainian drones headed for Moscow on New Year's Eve. Restrictions on airports imposed, while Zelenskyy denies to sign any weak deal to end the conflict. Trump removes National Guard from Chicago, Los Angeles and Portland, says federal forces will come back if crime rates go up. President Murmu and Prime Minister Modi extended New Year greetings as world rings in 2026 with great celebrations, fireworks and prayers. Well, on to the details now. The U.S. military announced on Wednesday that 3 people were killed in strikes on 3 alleged drug boats in international waters, bringing the death toll in Washington's campaign to at least 110. U.S. Southern Command said the strikes on Tuesday targeted 3 narco-trafficking vessels traveling as a convoy. All 3 people killed were on one boat. The exact location of the strikes was not immediately made clear. Previous strikes have taken place in the Caribbean or the Eastern Pacific. The military said that the targeted vessels were operated by designated terrorist organizations that it did not identify. The military said it had notified the Coast Guard to activate the search and rescue system. Since September, the U.S. military has carried out more than 30 such strikes on what it says are boats used to smuggle drugs to the United States without providing any concrete evidence that the targeted boats are involved in trafficking. In recent months, U.S. President Donald Trump has waged a pressure campaign against Venezuela's leftist president Nicolas Maduro, accusing him of running a drug cartel. Maduro denies the allegation and has accused Washington of seeking regime change to gain access to the Latin American country's massive oil reserves. Well, U.S. President Donald Trump said on Wednesday his administration was removing the National Guards from Chicago, Los Angeles and Portland, but he added in his social media post that federal forces will come back if crime rates go up. Now, the local leaders in those cities and Democrats have said the deployments, which have faced legal challenges, were unnecessary. They have accused the Trump administration of federal overreach and of exaggerating isolated episodes of violence at mostly peaceful protest to justify sending in troops. Trump has said troop deployments in Los Angeles, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Memphis and Portland were necessary to fight crime and protect federal property and personnel from the protesters. The U.S. Supreme Court on December 23rd blocked Trump's attempt to deploy National Guard troops in Illinois, a ruling that undercut his legal rationale for sending soldiers to other states. Also, Russia had alleged that Ukraine carried out a drone attack on Russian President Vladimir Putin's residence in the Novgorod region, although they did not say where he was at the time. On Wednesday, the Defense Ministry published a video of a downed drone that it claimed was used to conduct the offensive. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said on Wednesday his country was 10% away from a deal to end the conflict with Russia, but cautioned that the most important issues were unresolved and warned against rewarding Moscow. In his New Year's Eve address, Zelenskyy said his country wanted an end to the conflict, but not at any cost, and that any agreement needed strong security guarantees to deter Russia from invading again. Zelenskyy said in the address that the peace agreement is 90% ready.
Ukraine.
What does Ukraine want? Peace? Yes. At any cost? No. We want the end of the war, not the end of Ukraine. Are we tired? Extremely. Does that mean we are ready to surrender? Those who think so are deeply mistaken. Ukraine does not need a Minsk style. meticulously drafted trap. Signatures under weak agreement only fuel war. My signature will be under a strong agreement. And that is exactly what every meeting, every call, every decision is about right now. To secure a strong peace for everyone.
Не потрібно.
Well, Russian President Vladimir Putin urged Russians to believe in victory in Ukraine during his annual New Year's Eve address, his fourth since the conflict began. The Russian leader has consistently told his citizens that the military intends to seize the rest of Ukrainian land he has proclaimed as Russian by force if talks fail. Well, after a ceasefire between Thailand and Cambodia, 18 Cambodian soldiers have been released. The men had been held as prisoners of war for about 5 months after being captured during the earlier border clashes. Their return comes just days after a new ceasefire brought an end to weeks of intense fighting along the border. Both nations have agreed to freeze the troop movements and allow civilians to return to areas affected by the clashes. More in this report.
Cheering crowds welcomed 18 Cambodian soldiers home on Wednesday. Their release by Thailand follows a renewed ceasefire, signalling an easing of tensions between the two Southeast Asian neighbors.
The 18 soldiers are our Cambodian blood. They sacrificed their lives for our motherland and our people. So I am very happy to come here. From my heart, I have nothing else to give them but my congratulations on their release.
The handover was delayed by a day over Thai concerns over alleged violations of the ceasefire, but took place after sustained Chinese diplomatic pressure to ensure the deal holds. A decades-old border dispute between the Southeast Asian countries erupted into military clashes several times this year. The latest round of fighting in December killed dozens of people and displaced more than 1 million others. The Southeast Asian neighbors agreed to halt fighting at noon on Saturday, ending about 20 days of clashes. Saturday's deal had seen both sides agree to freeze the front lines where they are now, ban reinforcements, and allow civilians living in border areas to return as soon as possible. The captivity of 18 Cambodian soldiers since July during an earlier round of deadly clashes has inflamed nationalist sentiment in Cambodia, their release being one of the main demands of its government in the ceasefire talks with Thailand. Cambodian Defense Ministry said the soldiers were transferred at a border checkpoint on Wednesday after 155 days in Thai custody. The governor of Cambodia's Battambang province, Suk Lau, described the returnees as heroic soldiers. On Wednesday, Thailand's foreign ministry said the release of the soldiers was a demonstration of goodwill and that it hopes Cambodia would reciprocate this goodwill through its concrete actions.
We think at the current moment we can manage to deal with the situation bilaterally. Should the need arise, Thailand and Cambodia should consult each other first and then ask. And then China said that it is ready to provide assistance if needed.
The border clashes flared up again this month after a previous ceasefire deal brokered by US President Donald Trump and Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim collapsed. The clashes, which have also seen Thailand launch airstrikes along the border, are the most serious since the ceasefire was agreed in July. Bangkok and Phnom Penh have also agreed to freeze troop movements and cooperate on demining their 800-kilometer disputed border. In the long term, the two sides will need to resolve their long-standing dispute over how to demarcate an 800-kilometer section of their joint border. The disagreement dates back to the early 1900s when France occupied Cambodia. Cambodia and Thailand previously clashed over the same frontier between 2008 and 2011. The disputed border zone is home to three 1,000-year-old temples built by the Khmer Empire. The most famous of the three, Priya Vihar, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the subject of a famous 1962 International Court of Justice case between Thailand and Cambodia. The ICJ ruled in Cambodia's favor in 1962 and again in 2013. Bureau Report, DD India.
And moving on, Israel's military chief says the country's determination to disarm Hamas is absolute, calling 2026 a decisive year for Israel's security. Lieutenant General Eyal Zamir made the remarks during a visit to Israeli troops in Gaza. His comments follow talks between Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and U.S. President Donald Trump on the next phase of the fragile Gaza truce. U.S. President Donald Trump warned Hamas of severe consequences if it does not disarm, while the group has repeatedly refused to surrender its weapons. Although the ceasefire is largely held since October, both sides accuse each other of violations. Meanwhile, Israeli military have begun demolishing 25 buildings in the Nur Shams refugee camp in the occupied West Bank. The Israeli military says the demolitions are part of operations targeting armed groups in the area. And Taiwan President Lai Ching-te has vowed to steadfastly defend the national sovereignty following Chinese military drills. In a New Year address, Lai said Taiwan would strengthen national defense and build robust democratic deterrence. His remarks came a day after China claimed it had successfully completed large-scale drills around Taiwan. Beijing launched missiles and deployed fighter jets, naval ships and Coast Guard vessels to encircle Taiwan's main island. The exercises simulated a blockade of key ports and attacks on maritime targets. Taipei condemned the drills as highly provocative and reckless. Taiwan also said China failed to impose any effective blockade. And still to come, DD India News Hour. We'll show you glimpses of New Year celebrations around the country and the world. Stay tuned.
I'm on a quest to explore the history of Goa. A land steeped in diverse and intersecting cultures and traditions.
I think this is one of my favorite pieces of art in the city.
Here, influences from multiple faiths coalesce in beautiful ways. From religious sites to charming villages and vibrant streets. Watch Postcards from Goa on National Geographic.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lipakshi Kuran, and moving on, President Draupadi Murmu conveyed her heartfelt greetings and best wishes to citizens across the country and abroad. In her message, President Murmu said, and I quote, "On the joyous occasion of New Year, I extend my heartiest greetings and best wishes to all Indians in the country and abroad. The New Year symbolizes renewed energy and positive change. It is also an opportunity for self-reflection and fresh resolutions. On this occasion, let us further strengthen our commitment to the nation's development, social harmony and environmental protection. May the year 2026 brings peace, happiness and prosperity into our lives and infuse a new energy to build a stronger and more prosperous India." Unquote. Also, Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended his New Year greetings to the countrymen. Sharing on X, he wrote, and I quote, "Wishing everyone a wonderful 2026. May the year ahead bring good health and prosperity with success in your efforts and fulfillment in all that you do. Praying for peace and happiness in our society." Unquote. Well, the world also celebrated New Year with zeal and sheer joy as millions welcomed a fresh start. Across continents and cultures, 2026 began united in joy and anticipation. Well, as the world welcomed the new year with celebrations and cheer, Dubai stood out with its spectacular festivities. From iconic fireworks display to vibrant cultural events, the city marked the arrival of 2026 in grand style. Vinod Kumar, DD India correspondent in Dubai, brings us glimpses of the New Year celebrations. Take a look.
United Arab Emirates has welcomed the new year with spectacular fireworks, drone shows across several Emirates as thousands gather at public venues and waterfronts to mark the start of 2026. In Dubai, the world's largest tower, the Burj Khalifa became the center of the celebrations at midnight. The landmark lit up with coordinated display of fireworks, LED visuals, lasers, and fountain choreography. Large crowds gathered in downtown Dubai while shows were streamed live to viewers around the world. Fireworks were also held at key locations including the Atlantis the Palm, the Blue Waters, Burj Al Arab, JBR, and the Global Village. In the capital, Abu Dhabi, New Year celebrations were led by an extended program at the Sheikh Zayed Festival in Al Watfa. Fireworks continued in multiple stages throughout the evening, accompanied by a large-scale drone performance. This was one of the largest fireworks conducted by Abu Dhabi ever. Additional displays were held along the Corniche and at Yaspe, drawing visitors to waterfront venues. Ras Al Khaimah, another emirate, also hosted a major coastal fireworks show stretching from Al Marjan to Al Hamra. This stretches around 6.5 kilometers. The 15-minute midnight display combined fireworks and drone formations, included an attempt as the largest single fireworks shell. Other emirates, including Sharjah and Ajman, also joined the celebrations with their own firework displays as the country ushered 2026 with color, music, and light. This is Vinod Kumar for DD India from Dubai.
And for more on the New Year's celebrations, we have a correspondent with us. Let's go to Meghna Dev first in Ahmedabad. Meghna, it is the first morning of the New Year in Ahmedabad. How did the city celebrate last night, and what is the mood like on the streets this morning?
Yes, Lipakshi, a very happy New Year to you and to our audiences watching us worldwide. And obviously, as you said, this morning today, we are here at the Jagannath Temple in Ahmedabad. People in the morning have started coming, very early morning, starting their New Year, first day of the New Year, with spirituality, with devotion and worshipping Lord Jagannath. So that's the mood here early in the morning. Besides that, also, as you said, yesterday night there were celebrations, but most of the times we see that in Ahmedabad specifically, people throng along the riverfront. There are private events and gigs that happened across the city. There's the Kakaria Carnival, which started actually when Prime Minister Narendra Modi was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. Since then, it has been continuing. That's a lake in the city where there is a carnival that is set up, towards the year end. Besides that, there's also a flower show that has started at the riverfront, which will continue for a few days from now. But obviously, there are major attractions in the city, and not only where I'm talking about Ahmedabad, but also there are many people who visit the Somnath temple, the Dwarka temple in Gujarat, to actually celebrate their New Year. So most of the New Year celebrations in Gujarat is all about spirituality, devotion, and worship. But having said that, last year was very good for Gujarat in the sense that they got Gujarat got the hosting rights for the Commonwealth Games. Besides, the number of Asiatic lions, in the census did show a good increase. Besides that, also in a number of sectors, Gujarat fared quite well. Also, when we see that the sports infrastructure got a major push last year. But having said that, we also did see that last year brought a few incidents which definitely will forever be etched in our memory. But, it will be very difficult to forget. But besides that, also in terms of the growth and development sector of Gujarat, it has continuously shown progress. And in the months to come, also there are some major business summits that are planned in Gujarat. So obviously this year itself again will be a year of development and growth, and talks about business, specifically talking about the semiconductor sector, which has very strongly set its foot in Gujarat.
All right. And we have Ramananda Roy also in Agartala with us. Well, Ramananda, how were the midnight celebrations there in Agartala, and how are people there beginning the new year today?
Good morning and a very Happy New Year to all our audiences across India and the globe. Last night it was a fantastic celebration by the youth. They were partying in clubs and with their near and dear ones. It was a good celebration by all the youths. But on the very first day of the New Year, people celebrate this in a different way. People goes to temples to take blessings for their near and dear ones, that throughout the year they should live peacefully and for the betterment of their families.
All right.
And if I talk about 2025, yes?
Yes, go on.
Okay, if I talk about 2025, it was also good for Tripura, because Tripura was declared as the fully literate state with more than 97% of literacy. And if we talk about our Mata Tripureshwari temple, the revampation took place, which was inaugurated by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the month of September. Over to you.
All right. We have from Katra. All right. So we have Gurmeet also from Punjab with us right now. We seem to have lost Gurmeet as of now. Thank you to both of you for the New Year information you gave us. Well, India rang in the new year with joy and enthusiasm as people across cities and towns came together to welcome fresh beginnings. From bustling metropolitan hubs to scenic hill stations, celebrations were marked by gatherings, events and public festivities. Take a look.
We're going to rock and to dance. ये दिल दीवाना करता है। दीवाने ने मुझको ना कोने रखता है। ना कोने रखता है।
All right, New Year festivities all around and people at Lal Chowk in Srinagar welcomed New Year with music and fireworks also. DD India correspondent Shabida has sent this report. Take a look.
Happy New Year and greetings from Lal Chowk in Srinagar, the city centre, where large number of people have gathered tonight to welcome 2026 amid joy, happiness and music. Behind me you can see a lot of people have gathered here who are among tourists and locals alike, defying the biting chill but undeterred in the spirit of festivities to welcome the new year and celebrate the vibrancy that Lal Chowk is reflecting at the moment. Security has been briefed in the entire Srinagar, and this place, as you can see, the entire stretch from the Gantagar to Dalgate, which is like 2 kilometers, is jam-packed and all shops are open and people have come from different corners of Kashmir to be part of this festivity in Lal Chowk. Here, music and DJ programs are being organized and people are celebrating the new social energy that has become the hallmark of cities Lal Chowk, as everywhere we see on this eve, people in large number do gather here to be part of the festivities. The festivities are not here in Lal Chowk only, in other parts like Dal Lake and Gulmarg and Sonmarg. The tourism department has organized winter festivals and celebrations on the eve of New Year to bring Kashmir's tourism back to booming stage. As we have seen, a lot of people have already arrived in Kashmir. With camera person Sajad Khanyari, this is Shabir Dar for DD India in Lal Chowk, Srinagar.
blessings of the supreme power and on the first day of the 2026. And still to come on DD India News Hour. Bangladesh bids final farewell to Begum Khalida Zia. India marks 68 years of DRDO today, celebrating indigenous defence innovation and strategic strength. And we'll also get you updates on the weather conditions around North India.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Hello. Johar. It fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout ho gaya.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, and moving on, Bangladesh bid an emotional farewell to former Prime Minister Begum Khalida Zia with a state funeral in Dhaka on Wednesday. Hundreds of thousands gathered to honour the BNP chairperson and the country's first woman Prime Minister. National and international leaders attended the funeral, paying tribute to her decades-long political legacy.
Former Bangladesh Prime Minister and Bangladesh Nationalist Party chairperson Begum Khalida Zia was laid to rest on Wednesday following a state funeral. Hundreds of thousands of mourners gathered at Manik Mia Avenue in Dhaka to pay their final respects.
This is a big time loss for us, for the country as well, and we have lost a great leader, President Zia Rahman's wife, Begum Khalida Zia. She was unconditionally a great leader. I don't think someone else can fill that gap.
Her namaz-e-janaza was attended by Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus, members of the interim government, BNP leaders and representatives of other political parties. Foreign dignitaries including India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and envoys from several South and Southeast Asian countries were also present. Dr. Jaishankar met BNP acting chairman Tariq Rahman and conveyed condolences on behalf of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the people of India. Khalida Zia's body was taken to the Parliament complex with full state honours as Dhaka witnessed scenes of nationwide mourning. BNP Standing Committee member Nazrul Islam Khan read out a brief live sketch on behalf of the party. BNP acting chairman and her elder son Tariq Rahman appealed to the gathering to pray for his mother before the funeral prayers, which were held at 3:02 p.m. Khalida Zia passed away on Tuesday at the age of 80 after a prolonged illness. The interim government declared 3 days of national mourning. Following the janaza, Khaleda Zia was buried beside her husband, former President Zia Rahman, at Sher-e Bangla Nagar in the capital. Rabindra Chauhan's report for DD India.
And for more, we have Naval Singh Parmar joining us from Dhaka, Bangladesh on the phone line. Well, Naval Singh, there was a large turnout of citizens and political leaders, both domestic and foreign, at Begum Khaleda Zia's state funeral. Tell us more about it.
Yes, yesterday was a day where a sea of people were assembled at the Manik Mia Avenue in Dhaka, where Begum Khaleda Zia was laid to peace. It was a big loss to BNP, and she was a towering figure. She fight for almost 3.5 decades for the democracy in the country. And our Prime Minister also, Narendra Modi, also wrote an emotional letter to BNP acting chairman and Khaleda Zia's and Tariq Rahman for the condolences, as well as he hoped that the guiding principles and the light shared by the Begum Khaleda Zia will further guide India-Bangladesh relation in positive directions.
All right. Also, Naval Singh, because of the large gathering, how did it reflect her influence on both national politics and the people of Bangladesh especially, and how significant is this moment in terms of diplomatic relations?
Yeah, in the tenure of interim government, 2-3 events marks a positive marks here in Bangladesh history, as there was a huge issue with the law and order situation in Bangladesh. But when Tariq Rahman returned from London to Dhaka on 25th December, at the time also a huge crowd, huge number of people were assembled, and it went peacefully. At the same time, yesterday's event, I think it is one of the largest gathering in Bangladesh, and interim government managed with the supports from the all quarters of political circle in Bangladesh peacefully. So that is a positive sign that at least this kind of event, when the law and order was a very big issue, but it managed it, and many political parties, including Sheikh Hasina, who considered arch rival of Begum Khaleda Zia, she also wrote a condolence message, emotional condolence message for Begum Khaleda Zia and her family. So it is a positive development with the political parties in Bangladesh, and at the same time, many foreign dignitaries, including our foreign affairs minister, attended the funeral of Begum Khaleda Zia, and it provided occasion for the Bangladesh leadership, as well as Indian diplomats and foreign affairs minister to exchange views and meet in person. So this is the positive development for the India-Bangladesh, as well as at the same time, almost all the SAARC country members were present at the funeral procession. So this is the kind of a platform where they exchange greetings with each other in a tense, like we have a India-Pakistan, India-Bangladesh. There is a tense tie going on currently, especially India and Bangladesh. So this provide a positive platform for the and it media in locally as well as internationally took positive notes of the India-Bangladesh relation.
All right. Thank you so much, Naval Singh, for all those details from there. And moving on the 1st of January in 2015, a significant shift in India's policy framework took shape with the formation of NITI Aayog. Here's a report. Let's take a look.
NITI Aayog was constituted through a resolution of the Union Cabinet, replacing the Planning Commission and marking a decisive move towards cooperative and competitive federalism. Designed as a policy think tank of the Government of India, NITI Aayog aims to foster inclusive growth by involving states as equal partners in national development. It emphasizes bottom-up planning, evidence-based policy making, and outcome-oriented governance. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, NITI Aayog has played a key role in shaping long-term development strategies, aligning governance with innovation, sustainability, and India's evolving socio-economic needs. From policy reforms to development, NITI Aayog continues to serve as a catalyst for transformative change in India's growth journey. With a vision of self reliant and future ready India, NITI Aayog remains central to the nation's policy architecture. Kriti Vadhera's report for DD India.
Well, today also the nation marks the 68th Foundation Day of the Defence Research and Development Organization, formed in 1958 to build India's indigenous defence technology. As the country celebrates DRDO's achievements, the occasion also highlights the vital role of defence research and innovation in safeguarding India's strategic future. Take a look at this special report.
Now, +1, +2 and counting up.
The Defence Research and Development Organization marks its 68th Foundation Day on January 1st. Established in 1958, with just a handful of laboratories, DRDO has grown into a powerhouse of innovation, now operating over 50 labs and driving cutting-edge technologies for our armed forces.
DRDO over the years has created world-class platforms giving India strategic autonomy. It has done through robust research and development facilities and is pioneering an ecosystem that will enable Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Now, the Integrated Air Defence Weapon Systems, QR-SAMs, VSHORARs, Directed Energy Weapons, Advanced Surface Wave, Over-the-Horizon Radar and new man-portable autonomous underwater vehicles for mine countermeasures. The key milestones include the successful long-duration test of the scramjet combustion engine in April, running over 1000 seconds. A critical step towards hypersonic weapons that places India amongst the elite global club. DRDO also demonstrated free space quantum secure communications over 1 kilometer in June, paving the way for unbreakable cyber security. DRDO offered 28 weapon systems for emergency procurement and deepened private sector partnerships, transferring technologies for light tanks, artillery ammunition and more. Looking ahead, DRDO 2.0 is shifting focus to next generation technologies, directed energy weapons, photonics, quantum systems and artificial intelligence.
Future wars will not be fought by platforms alone. They'll be fought by systems. Systems are being created by DRDO along with the private sector, and DRDO is spearheading this mission of Atmanirbhar Bharat. With camera person Shubham, this is Colonel Danvi for DD India.
Well, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh extended greetings to DRDO professionals. On X he wrote, and I quote, "On DRDO Day, I extend my heartfelt greetings to all DRDO scientists, personnel and their families. Their unwavering commitment, scientific excellence and sense of national duty are vital to strengthening India's defence preparedness and advancing Atmanirbhar Bharat in defence. By developing indigenous future-ready technologies, DRDO is reinforcing our strategic autonomy and the confidence of our armed forces. I wish the entire DRDO family a year of meaningful breakthroughs and continued service to the nation." Unquote. We're on to some weather news now. Dense fog enveloped several parts of North India, significantly reducing visibility and disrupting normal movement across key areas. The Indian Meteorological Department has forecast a generally cloudy sky over Delhi NCR on Thursday, with a possibility of very light to light rain at isolated locations. Meteorologists have also cautioned that moderate fog is likely at many places, while dense fog could occur at isolated spots during the morning hours. As per IMD, chill will persist in some Himalayan districts for the next week, with chances of light rain or snow in higher reaches of Darjeeling. Dense to moderate fog is also likely across West Bengal in the coming days. A weak western disturbance is affecting Jammu and Kashmir, bringing light rain and snowfall to parts of North Kashmir also. And for more on the weather, we have Rachna Murmu from Shimla with us. Well, Rachna, how are the weather conditions in Shimla today, and are there any forecast advisory for the tourists today being the first day of the new year?
Very good morning to all our viewers and a very happy new year. When it comes to the weather conditions, the Himachal Pradesh is experiencing very chilly morning Thursday this night, as the temperature is below than 10 degrees Celsius. Right now in the capital Shimla, and it is around 7 degrees Celsius. Though this is a very prolonged dry spell, and weather department has predicted light to moderate rainfall in a coming week. Yesterday we have experienced few parts of Himachal Pradesh has experienced snowfall and a light rainfall. Though this is not up to the very as per the winter's season, January is considered to be quite a heavy rainfall, but this time winters has been already delayed, and yet the weather department is still predicting that in a coming week we might have experienced light to moderate rain. Though this is a very fulfilling month and a very fulfilling time for the tourists, people and local people also, because Himachal has been seen a great footfall when it comes to the tourism.
All right, thank you so much, Rachna, for all those details from Shimla. And we have Shabir Dar connecting with us from Kashmir on the phone line. Well, Shabir, we know that people celebrated New Year with full zeal in Kashmir also. What is the weather like in Kashmir this morning, and how is it affecting daily life and travel in the region? How are the tourists enjoying there?
Yeah, the tourists have a glad time in Kashmir this time around, because there has been snow in Gulmarg and Sonmarg and other hilly areas, which are usually frequented by the tourists during New Year. And this time there has been a bumper snowfall in these places. But the places like Srinagar city and other towns are yet to receive the snowfall. But the Met Department has predicted that there will be light to moderate precipitation over next more than 24 hours. So the biting chill, as we know, the Chalaikalan is going, the 40-day long harsh winter period is on, and the biting cold is there, and people are differently bracing it up and facing it with some difficulties. But the authorities are trying to ensure that the supplies, particularly the water and electricity supply during winter period, remains consistent. So the weather is playing, some spell spot in places like Srinagar, where people are eagerly waiting for snow. But the tourism, as we have seen so far last week, in tourist places like Gulmarg, the tourism has picked up. And on yesterday, on the New Year's Eve, we have seen Gulmarg fully packed to the brim, and all the hotels were booked. So a lot of people from across country and some foreign tourists have also arrived to celebrate New Year in Kashmir.
All right.
So amid this biting chill, the tourism is booming, and that is a good sign of this winter.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Shabir, for all that information from Kashmir. And on to some business news now. The year of 2025 for global markets was marked by geopolitical turbulence and surge of interest in AI, which influenced both tech stocks and investor sentiment. Now in US, Wall Street indexes closed lower on Wednesday. Trading was light on the last day of the year, and major US stock indexes drifted just below record highs despite strong annual gains. European shares remained near record highs, capping their biggest annual percentage gains in 4 years, driven by lower interest rates, Germany's fiscal support, and a rotation away from high-priced US tech-related shares. Gold and silver continue to consolidate as investors took advantage of the precious metals' remarkable price jumps this year, with gold hitting a 46-year peak and silver seeing a record annual surge. Well, you're watching DT India News. Our time now for some sports news. Jian Lin made history as the first woman to skip a the overall winner of the Sydney to Hobart yacht race. Her double-handed entry, Min River, was promoted to first place on Wednesday after a protest. Linen Coast skipper Alexis Loison clinched victory when race officials penalised French boat BNC for a sail breach, stripping it off of top spot and awarding Min River the handicap honours at the 80th edition. The triumph marked two milestones: the first female skipper at yacht and the first double-handed entry to claim the overall crown. Supermax Sea Master Lock Comanche secured little line honours on Sunday, pulling clear of rivals Law Connect and HSK Scallywag 100. And star India all-rounder Deepti Sharma scripted history by becoming the highest wicket taker in women's T20 international, overtaking Australia Megan Scott when she clinched her 152nd scalp during the fifth and last game against Sri Lanka in Thiruvananthapuram on Tuesday. The player of the tournament in India's recent historic ODI World Cup triumph completed the feat by dismissing Nilakshika Silva in the 14th over of the Sri Lanka stage of 176. The 28-year-old now has 152 wickets in 133 matches at an average of 19 and economy rate of 6.12. Earlier in the series that India won 5-0, Deepti became the first cricketer across men's and women international to score 1,000 runs and take 150 wickets in T20 internationals. At the Tata Mumbai Marathon, a World Athletics Gold Label race set to take place on January 18th has announced Olympic champion Andre de Grasse as the international event ambassador for its 21st edition. Renowned for his electrifying finishes and composure under pressure, de Grasse stands among the elite world athletes with 7 Olympic medals. His breakthrough came at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, where he claimed a silver in 200-meter dash. He further cemented his legacy at Tokyo 2020, winning gold in the men's 200-meter along with podium finishes in the 100-meter and 4 into 100-meter relay. Most recently at Paris 2024, de Grasse anchored Canada to gold in the men's 4 into 100-meter relay. Beyond the Olympic stage, he has delivered consistently at the World Championships, securing 6 medals across 5 editions, including gold at the 2022 Championships in Eugene. And before wrapping up, let's look at the first dawn on the new year 2026. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here at DD India. Here's wishing everyone a very happy new year.